I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. Joe Buyer gets to go back to another final. I cannot believe this. As defending champions, despite losing Ekman. This is unreal. People are calling for old Joe to get the old man look. We can't give him hair. Do we give him the old Thornton graybeard? We might have to do it. The old Silver Fox and Joe Buyer. It might have to be done. Look at this old man. Oh, God. Look at this old man. I feel like it has to be done. Give him the big old playoff beard. Oh, God. "39 years old, our old man captain gets the Thornton beard." Fair enough. I'll allow it. God. Joe Buyer is legitimately competing with Frederick McDonough for the title of greatest player in the history of my channels. Honestly, I think he has it. He might actually have it. I have talked about it ad nauseum. How can a player in this series compete with the first Goon Squad series? Which, again, if you haven't seen, search Tukey24 Goon Squad. That said, if you do that, this particular series right here pops up from a few years ago. And again, if you search something else, and you search Tukey Best Draft Pick, this video comes up, where we drafted a 92 overall player that was computer generated, by the way. And this man led that initial Goon Squad. We bring Goon Squad back. How can somebody compete with that? And this man has. It's at least a discussion. As unbelievable as it is. Absolutely incredible. Look at this shot. Look at this man. What's he? Imagine, yeah, I was going to say, I imagine skating is the same for everybody. It's crazy, dude. It's absolutely crazy. Oh, give him a 6 celebration. You read my mind. Why? Because we're wasting time. I mean, it's gotta be this way. We'll just go for that. I don't want to waste too much time. Oh, man. Guys, this team is incredible. We are going back to the Cup final in consecutive seasons. And for the 4th time overall, we will be playing either the Boston Bruins or the New York Islanders. 2 teams we have never played in the final. 2 teams that we are completely unfamiliar with. What do the New York Islanders look like? Again, they're going to Game 7. Who would we rather play? Probably not the Islanders. Jesus. Come on, man. Again, in a different world, Philippe Castonguay, had we ever won a lottery, would have been ours. Instead, he's an Islander. And I imagine, yeah, has had a fucking unbelievable career. Unreal. Centered by Mika Peltonen, 13 points in 17 games, and Matthew Vance with his 15 points in 17. What is up with the Islanders liking people who spell Matthew that way? Second line, Jamison Buckley, who's pretty sick. Dylan Castles, who was basically their version of Legacy, and Darcy Sarno. So that top 6 is scary. That third line is scary with Russ Steos, Gabriel Marco, 46 penalty minutes, Jesus Christ. And Lawrence Jones. That is true. I don't think we ever got the number 1 overall pick. Fourth line, Tyson Longier. I don't know. Alexei Kovalev. So Kovalev versus Fedorov. And Dennis Flaherty with a shitload of penalty minutes. So that fourth line is abysmal. And Marco takes a crap load of penalties. So if we can stay out of the box, I mean, number 1, expect a lot of power play goals if we play the Islanders. But, I mean, for both sides. I'm kind of hoping that we play the Islanders right now, just because of that penalty minute factor. That defense is interesting. Yuri Kasparaitis, alongside Ricky Pateni, who I recognize. Former Shark. Second pairing, Louis Veilleux and Zachary Jaquizi. And a third pair of Cedric DeLuca with a shitload of penalty minutes and Raymond Barnaby. They take a lot of penalties. The goalie is Abel Pietrangelo, or perhaps Peter Angelo, who's to say, formerly of the St. Louis Blues once upon a time, and the Vancouver Canucks. Been with the Islanders for a while. He's decent so far this postseason, but not amazing. They have their own Book-a-Boom, but he's a scratch. The Islanders are decent. What do the Bruins look like? They appear to be a meme team like we are in a way. Jonathan Playfair with a decent 12 points. Devin Doyle. I'm a little bit worried that they don't have any like elite level goal scorers. And Kirill Grachev, who sucks. Interesting. Second line, Alex Dadnoff, 12 points. Peyton Glass with 10. Jacques Chouinard with 11. Boston scares me more. They take a lot of penalty minutes too, but Boston scares me because it's one of those how the hell is this team here type of teams. Third line is Zach Cuff, who I feel like I recognize. Former Canuck. Walker Raycroft. So they get a Raycroft back in Boston. And Marian Ovechsky, who I think I recognize as well. Maybe not. No, yeah, formerly of St. Louis. Fourth line, Kevin Mellenby. Rohan Mankari. And Harry Alos. Also known as Halos. It's not bad. I mean, obviously the high-end talent resides with the Islanders, but these guys can still put up some points. Defensively, Jason Smoskowitz with 92 overall, Marco Pirietta. That's scary. Second pair, Cody Sabarin with Julius Esch. And the third pair, Magnus Ekholm with Radek Nedved. The goalie is Pavel Mayorov. That is how the Bruins are here. So, chat, Islanders or Bruins? Obviously, there are positives and negatives to both. I don't know who I'd rather play. The decision obviously is completely out of our hands, but I do not know who I'd rather play. I mean, you could side with the Bruins because perhaps that, you know...
Fanboy! The man was a fanboy!
J-Mac dropping the prime sub. 18 months. You're welcome, buddy. I don't know how anyone describes this as great content. It's just me yelling at franchise mode, but I thank you for it. Thank you very, very much, sir. And again, thank you for 18 months. Now, what I was going to look at here is there a dude who I can rely on to score and not take penalties? Look at the shot as Toxic hits us up with 11 months on the prime sub, closing in on that 1 year. Toxic, thank you for that. Look at the shot that Rodrigo Jarvis has. He has speed, balance, and a shot. A total glass cannon. Do we give Rodrigo Jarvis a chance? You got Victor Langenbrunner, who's good at putting up, or good at, you know, passing. Like, Kovacs is like an all-around player. There's nothing special about him, really. Seal has an okay shot, but it's not as great. Like, I look at two options, I feel like it has to be Langenbrunner or Jarvis. And I'd definitely go for Jarvis first. 99 offensive ones for Ribeiro. Nifty! Nifty Chris. Look at Auntie Quavusta.
Taste the
Sniping Sally. Extending the sub through April. Everything's going on right now. To one, Mr. Nifty Crispy. How are you doing, sir? I hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for that raid. Welcome to the nightmare known as playoff hockey in year 23, for God's sakes. If you guys haven't dropped Nifty a follow, make sure to do that as well. I think we have our answer in terms of who to call up here. Again, Vatanen just hasn't done much. He takes way too many penalty minutes. The next argument is Nasir West, who I think there's, again, the argument to take him out. Now, we're dealing with lower overall players, as far with the two bits. Hey, I'll take it. You know, we're dealing with lower overall players, which could hurt the team. That's the factor, right? You mess with the overalls. Like, we haven't taken anybody out of the lineup. We've only moved people around. But you take out those 2 overalls for a 75 and a 74... that could hurt, but it is the 4th line, and I'm willing to try it. That might just be what we need to push us over the edge here, and maybe even get some chemistry back on that 4th line. Maybe not. I was hoping with the grinder. So will it mess with morale? Perhaps. Jarvis does have 81 face-off. I think we can make that work. I think we can, and to be honest, I'm putting Jarvis on the power play with a shot like that. Get the shooter next to Legacy and hope it's automatic. Ooh. That's a good point. I don't know who I'd drop, though. I mean, Taratukin with the 6 points. That's an interesting point. Because, like, Vitanen or Vitanen has 6, goals there. I do like the idea of pairing these 2 together. I really do. Honestly, it would have to be someone that has face-offs. So maybe keep... I can't do that. Maybe keep... Jarvis, Taratukin, Legacy. And then in theory, though, still, this 4th line should be able to crush it. We're honestly going to try that. I don't want to mess with the team too much. It is just the 4th line. We should be okay. Let's find out. Imagine being dropped to the AHL just before the final. It could backfire. Again, it's the most me thing ever, right? Just be like, oh, we're going to the Stanley Cup final? Let me take 2 players off of our roster. But I think you can justify the moves, and shit, if we lose, blame me for the moves. But you can see what we're looking for there. It is the moment of truth, chat. Will it be the Bruins or the Islanders in the Stanley Cup final? The answer is the Boston Bruins. The Bruins stand in our way of back-to-back Stanley Cups. A few seasons ago, we thought, honestly, we're never going to win a cup. We have a chance at back-to-back. Couldn't we have kept them for the morale? I'm not as worried about the morale. I mean, it's at a 77. It didn't take that big of a hit. Nifty, it's all good, buddy. Sorry to hear about those internet issues. I just said thank you. Said hope the stream went well. And, yeah. Had to drop the old shout-out, you know. Might have to take this down. Well, you know. It is true. I won't be totally upset. Although, you know, 2043, if I make it, I'll be 49 years old. So, holy shit. I'll be 49 years old. Fuck. Anyway, Nifty, it's going great, dude. It's been a fun night so far. Oh, God. We know what Boston looks like, guys. The ratings. We have the advantage in offense and defense. Goaltending goes to them. The offense is tied. We have the defense by 11 points, and they have the goaltending. The X factors in this series, clearly for us, are 2 new additions. It's a massive risk to go with Jarvis and Langenbrunner, but we're going to try it. Defensively, or should I say for the Bruins, at least on the other side. Again, the big thing for the Bruins right now, can they stay out of the box? Can some of these dudes wake the hell up? Mainly Grachev. And can this Mayorov guy keep that up? Can we get to Pavel Mayorov? We thought we'd never win a cup. We win the cup last year. We lose Matthias Ekman, one of the greatest goal scorers I've ever had in the franchise mode, and we make it back without him. Can we repeat, of all things? It's game 1 in Boston, the Stanley Cup final. First period, 2-0 Bruins. Play fair and Doyle on the power play, 16 shots to 10. That's a rough start. Second period. I told you I was worried about this goalie. 28 shots to 26. We're down by 2. It's not insurmountable. That's insurmountable. 3-0 Boston. They're going to take game 1. I was worried about that goalie because if the Islanders couldn't get to him, how could we? Joe Byers scores on the power play. Too little, too late from the looks of it. 3 minutes left. Fedorov scores with 2.5. And Cuff, Lundberg. Just a swift kick to the balls at the end. 4-3 is your final. The Bruins survive. That goal from Cuff was a heartbreaker. Bayer put up a good fight, but the Bruins take game 1. There was something mentioned in chat as well that I have to adhere to. Mr. Rodrigo Jarvis, what do you look like, sir? We always try to get a look at the boys here. I like the elevation. Strong jawline as well. Not the craziest looking guy. Blue skates, laces at least, because why not? And then, of course, the other new boy is the great-great-grandchild of Jamie Langenbrunner. And that's Victor Langenbrunner. Who, yeah. Just basic, straightforward professional. So we dropped game 1 to the Bruins. I'm a little bit worried because obviously we made line changes just prior to that. I'm not going to move anybody around up and down the lineup, but what I am going to do is do the old defensive switch again and just see what happens. Let's go to game 2. To game 2 we go. Cody probably not, because we have like no attachment to them. First period. 2 power play goals, Grachev and Playfair. We can't stay out of the box, and it's crushing us right now. Second period, 3-1 Boston. Jarvis did score on the power play, which is hilarious, but Doyle also scored. We're in a bit of trouble here. 4-1. Another 3-goal lead for the Bruins in the third. The power play goals are just devastating. Niedermeyer scores 1. I did say there'd be plenty of power play goals with either team. Down by 2 with 10 minutes left. Can we make it closer? Is that it? I mean, again, we're still playing with house money to have made it this far. That's going to do it. A late goal with 6 seconds left from Fedorov. Another 4-3 final for the Bruins. They defend home ice and win both games and have a 2-0 series lead at this stage. Right. Cardwell rocking a 9-19. He's the only one that's going to play. Carpentier is struggling. Honestly, everybody at this stage is struggling. Let's go Lilia Legacy. Carpentier is the Grappin, Saprik, and Abdicator, and we'll see what's up and see what's going on. Forward-wise, it's a little bit tough. How has Langenbrunner done so far? Langenbrunner really hasn't added anything to this team. Hate to say it, Langenbrunner hasn't really added anything to this lineup. We're going to give Vatanen another chance, sink or swim with him. That Bruins goalie, we knew, like, okay, this is a really hot player heading in to this round, and unfortunately, I mean, we've gotten to them, but they haven't really slowed down at all. So, I mean, Jarvis has the goal, but is also a -2. Defensively, that line's not working. Let's go back to what this lineup was. Now we got Jarvis out there on the right, or at least on the left. Got limit the puck. Fair enough. Monday was good. Pretty straightforward. People say like, boring day. I don't mind boring days. I didn't accept my sub for you to lose in the final. I mean, there is the talk over what we could do to try and get rid of that -1, and the move would be Sahonen for Bukaboom. Honestly, I think we have to try to do something to spark the team. We need to do something. That is the team. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. It's game 3. We lose this, we're in trouble. We win this, then the home team trend looks like it might be a thing. First period, another lead at the end for the Bruins. Dadanoff with the goal. Second period, we tie it. Ola Lundberg on the power play. We go to the third, tied at 1. It's the first time in this series we haven't gone down, haven't gone into the third period down by 2 or more goals. Really, 3 or more goals. Can we get this goal? Niedermeyer, come on. Hold. 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 And the Goons take game 3. 2-1. What a bounce back. 29 saves from Mr. Cardwell. No sweep tonight. We are back in it. Taratukin. Solid game for him. Cardwell with the return to form on home ice. We have ourselves a series. Perhaps home team has yet to lose in this series. We go to game 4 of the Cup final. Can we keep it up? First period, 2-0 Boston. Fuck, these slow starts, man. Doyle and another power play goal for Dadanoff. Second period, 2-1. Lundberg shorthanded. We again go into the third trailing. It's only 1 right now. Make it 2. Grachev on the power play. That fucking Grachev guy's woken up and we can't kill anything. The penalties are, you live and die by the penalties when you're the Goon squad. And right now they're killing us. That's it. The Bruins take a 3-1 series lead here in the Cup final. After a 4-1 victory in game 4. And we are down to our last moment. We have had a 3-1 series lead before. And we ultimately lost that series. So the question is, what happens when we face a team who's in that situation themselves? And do we have what it takes to make something happen? I do not know the answer to that, but we are going to find out. God, that -2. And man, it's Bayer, it's Niedermeyer. It's some of our top dudes who are taking penalties. Lundberg's taking penalties too. Honestly, it's a shitty thing to have to do, but Bayer and Niedermeyer got to be off the top line. We got to shelter. We got to shelter those minutes in terms of the penalties taken, because they are doing us no favors. Jarvis with no penalties still. I mean, obviously it scares me to death to have that as our top line, but, you know, you do what you can. Obviously we don't want that -3 there. It's kind of shitty to have to set this up every time we've dropped our top guys we've lost. I mean, what do you want me to do? Keep getting killed on the penalty kill? I got no choice, dude. I have absolutely no choice. Bayer and Niedermeyer are both over 20 penalty minutes right now. And those numbers have gone up since the start of this series. They still have power play time. And the Bruins are still going to take penalties. This we know. So, I mean, really, we have no choice. Right now, it's called Goon Squad. You're gonna have, you're gonna have penalties taken. And right now, it's pretty much, can we shelter those who happen to take the most amount of penalties? I mean, we're down 3-1 anyway against an incredibly hot goaltender. What were we expecting? We had no business being back in the Cup final. I don't really care if we lose at this stage, because thank God we at least have one. The story of back-to-back would be great. We're not out of it yet. Change the PK, guys. Already did. Didn't work in that game, did it? Or in fairness, we might change it after this. But hey, we'll see what happens. First period of Game 5. (3-1). Alos with the lone goal. We get 3 unanswered. Sahonen, Byer on the power play, and Bokaboom. 15 shots to 5. Turns out old Tug might know what he's doing from time to time. Sometimes it backfires, but hey, sometimes it works. We might still lose this because their offense is nuts, but hey. Second period. 5-1. Viitanen. Sahonen. We go to the third. The Bruins have not shown up with a chance to end this series. We're going back home for Game 6. Niedermeyer on the power play. Will Game 6 be the last game of Joe Byer's career? He will at least have a chance to end his career on home ice. Raycroft scores on the power play, but this one is done and dusted. Game 6, here we come. This series is still alive off the back of a 6-2 final for the Goons. Sahonen, Cardwell, Niedermeyer leading the way. Only one player was a minus. It was Ernie Abdicator. We're still alive. We're still alive. Is this it for Joe Byer? 39 years old. Game 6 of the Stanley Cup final. It could, at the very least, it could be his last home game. It could be his final game in general. Here we go. Is this it? First period. 4-2 for the Goons. Holy shit. Grachev scored 41 seconds into it. Viitanen, Jarvis, Doyle ties it, Lundberg, and Joe Byer. 4-2 for the Goons at the end of the first. Talk about having a good first period. There we go. Second period. 6-2 for the Goons. Another goal for Joe Byer. Fedorov adds another one. Is Game 7 on the horizon? 6-2 heading into the third period. Oh my God, are the Bruins, are you choking this away right now? Taratukin on the power play makes it 7. Joe Byer will salute the home fans, perhaps as an active player, for the last time. I wish I could do something special in-game to see it. Joe Byer says goodbye to the home fans, potentially for the last time, with a win. 7-2 is your final score in Game 6. We are going to Game 7 for the Stanley Cup. Joe Byer and others helping lead the way. Lundberg with a 4-point game. Just imagine throwing out a Yager salute, right? Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final. A chance to go back-to-back. We won last year in dramatic fashion over the Penguins. And now it comes down to this. One more game. One more chance. From no cups to potentially 2 in a row. Will it be the final game of Cameron Carlton's career? Will it be the final game of Joe Byer's career? This team is incredible, no matter what happens. To have made it back to this point, this team is incredible. Game 7 for the Stanley Cup. Here we go. Will it be the final game in Joe Byers' career? First period is underway. Teratukin under 3 minutes in. We're up by 1. What a start for Teratukin. Let's go. Power play chance. Extended power play. Grachev ties it. That sucks. All that power play time. 2:40 to go here in the first. 1-1 is the score. The early goal from Teratukin, a power play, and we couldn't turn it on from there. We're tied at 1. Doubled them up, more than doubled them up in shots, and it doesn't matter. Second period. This next goal is so important, and the Bruins get it. It's Dadonov. Power play for the Bruins. Can they double it up? Yes, they can. It's Moskowitz. 3-1 Boston. 4-1 Boston. Cardwell falls apart. We go to the third period. Down by 3. Here we go. Power play for Boston. 5-1. There's no saving it, boys. We put up a hell of a fight. We were above and beyond anything that we thought we would be this season. We never, ever thought we'd make it back to a cup final. We score the first goal, and we fall apart from there. There was no saving that. The Bruins are going to win the Stanley Cup on home ice. Not the way you want to see Joe Byer potentially go out. Not the way you want a cup defense to end. Much like the 2001 New Jersey Devils, we're going to fall short. And be just too far back to make something happen. Imagine the Bruins actually winning the cup on home ice. Joe Byer is so fucking slow at this point. But he will be out here. Probably going to need an oxygen tank for what will be the final shift of his career. 35 seconds to go. And Cuff makes it 7. A top shelf snipe. 7-2 in game 7. The extra point is good. Not the way you want to go out. But it is the way that this team's cup hopes and dreams will end. All that work just to force game 7 and you fall short like that. It's the most EA thing ever. We had a shot at 2 in a row. We fall short. The Bruins win the cup. There is no miracle ending for Joe Byer with back-to-back cups. 4 finals appearances for the Goons. Only 1 championship to show for it, which really hurts. Which really, really hurts. I mean, here's the thing, right? Even if Byer doesn't leave, the problem is that this team is cooked. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this team is cooked. Niedermayer's going to regress. Carlton's probably going to retire. I don't see how this team could possibly make it back. I mean, the fact that we made 4 finals, by the way, I don't want to undersell that. We made 4 Stanley Cup finals with this Goon squad, which is nuts. You know, 4 appearances in the finals just should not happen with a team that's built this way. It fucking blows that we've only won 1 title. But that's just the way it happens to play out. I mean, man, we started off that game so strong, too, with the opening goal. And then it was just all Boston from there, unfortunately.
What an impressive run, and I think
Devin Doyle. He's going to win the Conn Smythe.
I've always noticed that the player that gets named Conn Smythe Trophy winner
It sucks. It sucks. It sucks.
because it's such a team win.
1 for 4.
Stanley Cup, of course.
Still better than the Buffalo
It's a
Bills.
little awkward in this spot. It's also huge. It's a giant trophy.
Crank, I'm glad we went in the same direction there. Damn, man. We get to Game 7. And we fall short like that. That sucks. I mean, I didn't think we were going to make it out of the first round. I definitely didn't think we were going to beat the Jets in the conference final, and we were down 3-1 to Boston. I'm like, yeah, cool, we're screwed. Turns out we were screwed. We just needed that little bit of extra pain. That little bit of extra pain. Gotta love when the crowd doesn't fucking react at all. Gotta love it. This cup presentation sucks. I'll call a spade a spade. The crowd noise, the no crowd reaction. It's kind of brutal. And it needs to get better on next gen. I've seen enough. You might think, well, the Bruins won. You're happy. I'm not happy. 7-2. Really 6-2, but damn. 1 game away. And we fall short of going back-to-back. As did Burnaby. They also fell short of going back-to-back. Boston and Hershey win. That is a rough way for the road to end. That is a rough, rough way. Burnaby with the regular season points. Champions. They actually didn't even make it to the conference final. They lost. Or they made it to the conference final, not the outright final. Oh, man. That's rough. Imagine if Ekman didn't retire. Maybe the team wouldn't have been the same and we would have gotten EA'd, but if Ekman didn't retire, we might have been able to pull that off. We might have been able to. I don't know how our team was the top team in the AHL, but then picked up no awards. So close yet so far. Damn. I mean, yeah, the difference of not having a 30-point guy is clearly on display there. I mean, Niedermeyer and Joe Byer tried. They tried so goddamn hard. Sahonen was decent too. I was worried about our depth scoring, and ultimately that proved to be correct. And honestly, you saw it there too. The penalty minutes got us in a whole lot of trouble. The penalty minutes got us into some deep shit. I mean, Advocator with 36 penalty minutes in 24 games as an enforcer defenseman did not help. And ultimately for Sean Cardwell, he got us to back-to-back finals. Still has a 26-10-1 record in the playoffs. Damn. Still probably a Channel Hall of Famer, but imagine what that would have looked like on the resume. To have back-to-back Stanley Cups to your credit. I didn't think we'd win 48 games. I didn't think we'd beat the Canucks. I didn't think we'd beat the Yotes. I definitely didn't think we'd beat the Jets. And for a moment there, it didn't look like that series against Boston would go 7. It sucks to be 1 for 4 in the Cup final. At least we got 1. And again, it shows just how damn good this team's been. We technically have 2 years left. But let's add to the pain. Let's add to the pain, shall we? Is the sting of a Cup final loss enough? Or do we have to add the impossible heartache of losing our captain to it as well? Or do we get to be overjoyed at the fact that our captain stays? Let's go to the retirements. Are we saying goodbye to Joe Byer? Has he played his final game for the Goons? No, he hasn't! Joe Byer comes back! Oh my God, he's 40. He's a man. He's 40, and he's still playing. Joe Buyer comes back. Holy shit. Joe Buyer comes back. Cameron Carlton does retire. I told you guys I had a feeling he was going because that overall was plummeting. We do lose Cameron Carlton, unfortunately. He and Ekman are gone, but Joe Buyer remains. Cameron Carlton had an incredible career. It's a shame he finished with under 1,000 points, but Cameron Carlton is one of those guys who, at the very least, is Hall of Very Good, if not Channel Hall of Fame for us. It was a great attempt from Cam. Solid career. And in a different kind of series, maybe wouldn't have been kind of overshadowed like he was. In terms of other retirements, Hunter Rizzi's finally gone. Thank God. Fucking Yosefson. Dadnoff retires with a cup. First 69 to be raised to the Raptors. He didn't actually wear 69 with the team, though. Robert Lilia does. Alan Thorne's gone for Vancouver. The Bruins had a couple of older dudes retire off the back of that win, which I'm very happy about. But yeah, tough way for Cameron Carlton to go out off the back of losing in the final, but our captain stays. Vladimir Malkin, former Goon, retires at 35. Not exactly a major player. Defensively, Oscar Nilsson in Montreal finally retired. Thank God. The Bruins just lost a lot of their roster, by the way. A lot of their roster. Aside from that, the majority of our players are still around. Kelly Bradley retired. A lot of dudes that have been on our team are still here. I don't know if we lost Eve yet, because he was technically in the AHL. Joe Buyer stays. As incredible as it is, Joe Buyer will be back for another season. Absolutely ridiculous. It fucking sucks that we just lost in the Cup final. I hate it. I hate it. We were one win away from being back-to-back champions. And again, that 1-for-4, that 25%, that's sitting heavy. That sucks. But Joe Buyer will play at 40 years old. That speaks for itself. But Joe Buyer is staying. He can't skate worth a damn, but he can still shoot. Does he retire if we win? I'd like to think so. And again, he's already top 5. He is already top 5. So we got to look at the record book for the league. Most goals. He's top 5. He will pass Connor McDavid. I call it a hunch. I don't know if he'll score 33. He could pass Wayne Gretzky. It's unlikely that he'll score 34 goals, but it's not impossible. Can Joe Buyer pass Wayne Gretzky? We are going to run this old man into the fucking ground to try and get him those goals. Oh my God. Next season's not about making it back to the final. Next season's all about Joe Buyer. And can we get him to where he needs to be? So again, it's bittersweet. We fall in the final. But Joe Buyer will be back at 40 years old, man.